What is up, creators? This is Tom. Welcome back to another video. So Apple have just announced their new iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 mini, the iPhone 12 Pro, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's quite a mouthful. I hope that I got those right. But they've announced a ton of new features on these phones, and most notably some significant camera improvements. So I want to share my thoughts as someone who creates content, shoots professional photo and video full-time as my job, and basically share why I'm actually really excited for these phones and the cameras that are going to be packing on them. So as a quick disclaimer, I have ordered the iPhone 12 Pro because that's the one which is going to be arriving soonest. I want to shoot some content on this new phone, but I will probably end up trading that phone in and switching it for the iPhone Pro Max, which is supposed to deliver a little bit later, because there are some camera changes and camera improvements from the iPhone 12 Pro to the iPhone 12 Pro Max that we will cover off in this video. So first off, we're talking about sensor size. Now that is the most significant difference, in my opinion. The sort of biggest overall change with this iPhone lineup is that the iPhone 12 Pro Max actually has a significantly bigger sensor than we've ever seen on an iPhone model. So Apple is saying that the sensor size on the Pro Max from the iPhone 12 Pro is actually 47% bigger. And in my opinion, that's probably the most exciting, overwhelming feature, because sensor size sort of directly corresponds to image quality. Or maybe a more accurate way of putting that is potential image quality. So a full frame camera allows more lighting, has better low light performance, and will have better capability for a greater depth of field. And that is because you have more light available, more room available on the sensor. So that 47% improvement on the iPhone Pro Max is a massive deal. And again, in my opinion, that is the sort of most tangible upgrade from any of these changes that Apple have made on these cameras. So now we're going to talk about lenses, and again, Apple have gone with this sort of multiple lenses configuration on these iPhones. Now the 12 Pro is not significantly different to the iPhone 11 in terms of the different choice of lenses that you have available. However, there is a significant difference, and that the telephoto lens option and the sort of standard wide lens option actually shoots at f1.6 versus f1.8 on the previous versions. This means that on the 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 12, you're going to get much better low light performance, and you're going to be able to get a better quality of depth of field, or bokeh, in the background of your photos, especially if you're taking a photo of a subject that is up close and personal. That is a significant difference to something like portrait mode, which is all sort of digital bokeh. They sort of take the photo and blend it digitally using software in the background. In my opinion, a bit of a sort of photography purist over here, that is not a very nice, pleasing effect, and I much prefer the real thing. And that f1.6 on these phones means that you're going to have a better capability to do that. So the iPhone 12 Pro's telephoto option is unchanged from the iPhone 11, apart from that aperture improvement. This still has a focal range equivalent of 52mm, which is still a really nice focal range for the sort of telephoto option. However, on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you're actually getting an increase on that. So the telephoto option is a 65mm equivalent, and that is a seriously nice option to have on your iPhone, just like ready there. You can pick it out of your pocket and have a 65mm equivalent. That is pretty crazy, and I'm super excited to shoot with that. It should be a fantastic option for things like travel photos or even portrait shots without using the traditional portrait mode option. And then the next thing that I'm super excited about is Apple RAW. Now, if you don't know what RAW photos are, chances are you're not going to be too interested or bothered by this feature. However, it does have some significant benefits, so I'll just briefly go through those. If you don't know what a RAW photo is, I've recently dropped a video talking about RAW files and why they're important for photography and how to edit and get the most out of those files. If you're interested in watching that, I'll link it down below and on the annotations here. But on the whole, what it means is that you are capturing a way more data in that photo and that file, meaning that you can play around with editing, bring up the shadows, bring up the highlights, and really color correct and grade your image to how you finally want to see it. Now, iPhones have been able to shoot RAW for ages. That is not a new feature. However, as someone who again shoots professional photography, if I'm wanting to spend ages on an image and correcting it, I will just always shoot on my camera. It's always going to shoot better photos than an iPhone will, just because that's its sole intended purpose and it's a professional piece of gear. So from that point of view, it's not a massive advantage to be able to shoot RAW photos on my iPhone, because I have to like really edit them, really color correct and change them, and I'll just always shoot with my camera over something like an iPhone. However, the new promise with Apple RAW, which is a file format which is going to be coming to these phones slightly after the release date, is that it gives you the flexibility and the power of editing the RAW photo with the ease of Apple's software. What that means is you're going to be able to take advantage of the RAW file, yet still use this sort of intuitive and easy nature of Apple's software, meaning that you are able to really easily choose a look and feel of the photo that you're after. A really easy way of thinking about this is that it's going to be like using filters, but they're much better filters. So you're going to be able to actually change the nature of the image of itself instead of just overlaying something on top of it. So guys, those are the things that I'm super buzzed about with these new iPhones. As mentioned, I have ordered the iPhone 12 Pro. I'm going to play around with that for a little while. I'm actually thinking of dropping a video comparing the iPhone 12 Pro to a professional camera. So if you're interested in seeing that comparison, hit subscribe so you don't miss that upload. For now, I'm going to hold off talking about video. I know that there are massive improvements in the video quality on these phones. The most significant difference is being able to film in 10-bit, which I know has been around on some other phones for a little while, and this is actually why I'm holding off talking about it for the time being. As soon as I know that this is not just a spec on a spec sheet and that the 10-bit is actually really good, high quality 10-bit, personally I'm going to hold off sort of talking about and commenting on that for now, but I'm super excited to just see the innovation that Apple is putting into these cameras. I'm really excited about having a 65mm telephoto camera in my pocket, like whenever I'm out and about. That is a super appealing feature. If you have any thoughts or comments on these phones, drop a comment down below in the comment section and let me know if you are going to be picking one of these phones up, and I'll catch you guys next time.